Sooner Scoop HD.
That's great. Lost 5 players to the draft. How are you going to be better on defense next season than the Sooners were last season?
Yeah, I'm not really concerned about comparing it to where we were last year. I'm just focusing on what I see every day and just, playing with incredible effort, being physical, playing with great fundamentals, having a great understanding of our system, not just their own position. I think it's really important anytime you're playing on both sides of the ball that you have a great understanding of the players around you, what the scheme means for not only for you but for them. I think that helps you play more consistently, more aggressively, more assuredly, and I like the group of players we have. We did lose some good football players, but I do believe that we've got good football players that are ready for their opportunity. That you saw a spring of improvement from the beginning to the end, in both in knowledge and the fundamentals. And I expect another jump this summer, and then I expect another jump in fall camp, and I expect us to get better from the beginning of the year to the end. And so, if that means we're better than last year's stats, it does. And you would expect there to be able to quantify improvement. That's an easy one to go to compare. I don't even know what the numbers were. I don't know what we were ranked, what we were giving up. It really doesn't matter for us. What matters is what we're doing now moving forward. And I feel really good about where we're at today, knowing that we're not where we need or we have or we're going to be moving forward. Just based on what we did the last 4.5 months through both the weight room and mat drills, as well as spring football. I like the improvement from mindset, the improvement on our strength and our conditioning, and the improvement with our chemistry. So I think all those things are important foundationally to give us a chance to be better, than what we've been. And to me, play more consistent, because if you look at, we studied some things that Oklahoma did a year ago, knowing that they had made some improvement in some statistical areas, some big improvements in some statistical areas. And so let's see what they were doing. This was prior to a year, whatever, I don't even know my years here, but we're in 22 right now, so it's been 21. So the spring of 21, looking at what they had done in the fall of 20, I guess that would have been right. And just they had made some improvements in some areas, whether that was overall stats or maybe it was some improvement in run defense or pass defense, sacks, tackles for loss. There was some improvement that we had made. And so always looking at who's making big jumps and what are they doing to make big jumps. And sometimes it's better players, sometimes it's better schemes, sometimes it's, maturity, guys just being older and more experienced. So some of those things, again, you're going to have to organically, you can't just, hey, let's give him a can of experience. It doesn't work like that. I wish it did. And so that's how you get better, by playing the game. It's a developmental game. The more you play, the better you get. And it's why that fifth-year senior is so valuable. We're going to try to create an environment and a culture that it means something. It's a big-time honor to be a senior. That's significant in finishing, your race, finishing your opportunity, graduating, being a leader. You come in our team meeting room, the seniors are all sitting up front. And it's not by best players, it's by guys that have paid a price, that have been there. And that means something. Guys that have some stick-to-itness to them. And that's got to be the foundation of your program, your leadership, your seniors. I want it to be a really big deal. I want to create loyalty to the brand. And you do that by promoting graduation. A bunch of them graduating tomorrow. And being there for them, high five and booty bump. That's a big deal. Like, through all this mess that's been going on, there's been this devalue of getting your college degree. I grew up with a mom that didn't have a college degree. It's a big deal. You know, you want to rely on government assistance and food stamps and trying to figure it out. I mean, that's no fun. And so I want to empower our guys through education, you know, through opportunity created through their getting their degree. It's a huge achievement, and I just feel like it's not emphasized enough. Some circles, yes, not enough circles. And but I think that's how you get to playing great defense too. When you foundationally, you got to have some. I like to call them forecheckers, just having fun in the coaching world. Forecheckers mean there's some bonus money happening when you're playing them big games, and some guys that are making a difference to facilitate playing late. You got to have some really good players too. But I do believe your backbone of your team are guys that know how to pay a price, know how to work. They've got an incredible level of toughness and investment and commitment. They've been there, done that, and they know how to play the game, you know, in their sleep at a really high level. And then you put some generational type players in there too, and then that's a great blend, you know, in my opinion.
Brent, I'm sorry. It seems like the kind of the general consensus from your players is that they really look forward to the off season. I'm wondering, do young athletes get more of a reinforcement these days from maybe even like social media, that they see that off-season training is critical for, you know, guys they follow, you know, professional athletes, things like that? Where social media might have been bad and stuff, but they see other guys that they play against, they got their personal trainers, they're putting videos out all the time. You think guys understand that the off-season is more critical than they used to 10, 15 years ago? I'm sure you still have guys you have to yell at because they don't do it.
No, I mean, I'm for I think that they know it is, not necessarily because of the social media. Is it a reminder? Certainly. Do you want all your guys spending all their time, you know, recording themselves, you know, doing a bench press? Absolutely not.
They probably walk out of the gym after they do that anyway.
I love all of it. I love guys that may make it a big deal. That's okay too. Celebrate that. But I like the guys that do the hard, dirty work in the dark. Yeah, you ain't seeing them, but you see real transformation because they're so busy trying to be great, they don't have time for all that. So, you know, is it more out there? Yeah, but you don't want to have guys motivated because of that. You want that comes from an internal spot that it's got to be each individual's spot, you know, and that's where you want that motivation. The motivation to be great comes from, you know, from within, because they love what they do. And if you're ever going to be great at something, you got to love what you do, and that's really got to be the ultimate motivation.
Brent, somebody asks you about this virtually every time we talk about NIL stuff. You had the guidelines released Monday from the NCAA on some of that stuff. What do you feel about some of the stuff that they said? And
What'd they say?
I think it's like you can't have contact, like boosters can't have contact before a player gets to campus to offer them.
Yeah, I mean, that's the booster rule's always been there.
Right.
I think they just came
I
out
know
and
it's more
re-emphasized it.
Yeah.
Is it going on? Yeah, it's going on. So, I mean, I think we need guidelines. You know, there needs to be some structure to what you're doing. You know, if you're going, you know, so Barry, you know, he's not very good at bowling. Okay, so Barry is going to bowl without gutters. What's the bumpers? He's going to throw his ball in a gutter, right? Just example, right? Yeah, I stink too. Like I'm terrible, right? I can throw it pretty straight, but every once in a while it's going to go straight in the gutter, right? Because I'm a straight ball shooter, right, Woody?
100%.
But when you put the bumpers on there, it keeps the ball out of the gutter, right? So, you know, I think we need the bumpers. You know, we need the bumpers. It's going to be a train wreck. Maybe it already is.
Yeah, I was about to
And
say.
it's out of control locomotive. And
So how do you?
I don't do nothing. You know what I mean? I just keep on keeping on. I don't spend any time worrying about something I can't control. We try to put you know, we've got how we run our program. Again, not speaking from a collective space because I'm not in control. I don't have communication with collective. I know what came out, and, you know, what supposedly is going to be available for our players. And I think that the NIL space is a very good thing. Like I've said, I've not changed on that at all. And a lot of it's because I grew up, I went to college, I walked on to earn a scholarship. I still needed money. I needed money. And paid back student loans until I was 38 years old. And because I took out all the money, I couldn't get any money from home. And I eventually was able to buy a car, saved up enough I could buy a car, and I needed gas, and needed insurance, needed to buy clothes, and just entertainment. You need some money. So I think it's really cool that we have finally wised up and created a small space for that. And, you know, with good intention. I just hope that at some point in time, you know, it gets to where there's some equality to it, makes some sense, and that we're not prostituting these kids. And just, you know, I wouldn't give a open credit card to any of my kids, you know. So why would, you know, you write a blank check? And that's not what the intention of the rule was. But putting some money in the pocket and giving them opportunity to take advantage of, you know, name, image, and likeness, build their brand. You know, we have a co-branding at the university. That's great. Sell your jerseys, make some money, go sign some autographs, make some money, sign some balls and make some money, go, you know, I think that's a great exchange, you know, but don't lose focus on the real return on investment. And that short-term money, which is good, real return on investment. And so we're going to work really hard to educate our guys financially. The financial literacy piece is incredibly important, whether that's taxes or an LLC, certainly how to invest money, how to open a bank account, you know, just to be smart and mindful. The IRS will hunt you and find you, and you will go to prison, okay, if you don't follow these rules. So with a lot of the backdoor stuff, these same people that are involved in some of the stuff that shouldn't be going on are going to be the same people that have no skin in the game when these kids are faced with you know, tax evasion. You know, and that's sad. You know, it's really sad, and that's going to happen. Like, that's right on down the road. It's in the, you know, in the front of that hood of that car. It's where we're going. So we try to do what we can to help our guys be an industry leader in that space. And, you know, our sole mission is a wonderful part of our NIL, you know, holistic development, and that's the real return on investment, education, getting your degree, creating opportunities for them through career development and some service opportunities, and just their manhood. You know, when they were 14 going into high school, they're a lot different when they're 17 or 18 and graduating. They went from not shaving to, some of them are shaving, and they went from not driving to now they got a learner's permit, and they went from never dating to going to prom, and when they go to college, there's going to be another transformation that takes place, and we need to help facilitate that. These are still kids, and they don't know what they don't know, and so we're going to promote that, you know, where we're going to promote the growth and development from education, and then certainly the football piece. Like Oklahoma, 15 straight years of 4+ players drafted in the NFL, which is the most in college football. So continue to be who we've been in that place, and because that's important too, for them to have the one opportunity to go play in the most difficult league in the planet. Okay, we're going to get you as prepared and equipped and empowered as possible so that you have longevity. You can maximize the one small window that you have. One small window. You get one opportunity to put your best foot forward. So don't cheapen. Don't take a shortcut. Don't go at a discount. Okay, maximize all of it. And then when that's over, because that's going to be over sooner rather than later, man, you're ready for what's next. You don't have any questions. You're confident, like you are coming off the edge on 3rd and 12, okay, or, you know, running that dig route at 12 yards deep, okay, man, you're confident like the receiver is or the defensive end is on the field. You're every bit as confident in the interview process, you know, in a boardroom, leading as a leader in your community, you know, as a husband, as a father. You stand and look yourself in the mirror as a full-grown man and know that you got a fully loaded tool belt and you're ready for what's next. And that's what we want for our guys and their experience. And that's a big part of our NIL. And there's collective opportunities, in my understanding, and that's a big part too, and that's good. And, just whatever it is, follow the rules, and nobody can provide a bigger stage and have a better brand than the Oklahoma brand. And so we have some internal and external marketing components too to help facilitate our guys being able to maximize their small window. You got to play well. You can't be, again, that guy, what was the guy in the back of the line that wasn't paying attention? What's his name? Johnny Jackaround.
Okay.
Johnny Jackaround, right?
You can't put
You
Jack
can't
in
be
there.
that guy that's Johnny Jackaround, and you're trying to be so busy over here in a space that you're not focusing on education, going to school, going to tutors, going to the weight room, going to the workouts, showing up with purpose. If you're going to be great at being a football player, if you're going to be great at being a student, if you're going to get your degree, man, you got to put the work in. You have to put the work in. In whatever you get, NIL or education, football, success, manhood, you're going to get what you earn. Okay? Not somebody just isn't going to give it to you. You can't just give it to somebody. And
Sooner Scoop HD.